Hello Internet, welcome to another episode of Bazzle Spot Live. I am indeed still Mr. Anderson and I'm still your host for a few more games on the Battle Spot ladder. So let's jump into it. Here we go, back with this team again, the team that we've been using all week, and hopefully you are not getting bored of it one bit. Hopefully you are enjoying it very much. It's actually gone alright for us this week, hasn't it, to be fair. You're actually on the cusp of breaking into the 1800s, the mighty elite of the 1800s. Wouldn't that be nice? Or does it make no difference at all? Yeah, whatever. So the team's different to it was last week. You know, you've seen the changes by now. I've not used Milotic at all. Arcanine's a lot more offensive. I don't think I've actually used Arcanine that much this week, have I? TREVENANT did lots of work on Wednesday. I can't remember exactly what happened on Monday. It was all that the hail stuff, wasn't it, that they didn't bring against me. Yeah, that was quite scary. So, what are we going to get today? Who knows? Let's find out. Still need to think. Like, I'm going to have a long hard think to myself, and get lots of that thinking done, and think what I can replace Milotic with. I do want it to be something that can threaten Arcanine. So I do, I like the Firewater Grass core that we've got going on. So I want it to be a water type, and I kind of want it to be something fast as well, which means it has to be Starmie, doesn't it? If, the scarf is tied to Tapu Lele, which I do quite like, to be honest. So here we go, finally, Yodani from Japan, was that? With, okay, a Mudsdale and a Gigalith. That's quite interesting. And no Trick Room setters at all. He's got a Milotic too, but Tapu Koko can be a problem. I've not really played many Gigalith, to be honest, but it could be a bit of a pain. Not many Gigalith, not many Mudsdale with this team, but it could be a pain. Arcanine is the only thing that really threatens the TREVENANT, so maybe TREVENANT can do some more work in this particular battle. It can't get leech seeded by Celesteela, although they do normally have Flamethrower, to be honest, don't they? So yeah, I want to replace Milotic with something, and I've been wittering on all week how I did actually do lots of testing with Starmie in that slot instead of Milotic, and I probably do like Starmie more than I like Milotic. Maybe, actually no, maybe I wouldn't have brought Starmie if I had it here. But like the problem is if I start relying on Starmie, then I get a lot weaker to Tapu Koko as well. So I don't know. Not that Milotic's very good against Tapu Koko anyway, but let's stop wittering on, because we need to pick some Pokemon, don't we? So, what are we going to do? We're going to go with Smeargle, and you know what? Last minute change of plan. Let's go with these. And you, yeah. Let's go with these. So that was a very last minute change of plan, wasn't it? But I want to use Milotic, and TREVENANT is good in this, apart from against Arcanine. Yes? You with me? So, if I leave Milotic and TREVENANT together, then surely I can start doing some business. So, he doesn't lead with his Arcanine, unfortunately, but he does lead with his Tapu Koko, which does give Milotic some issues. Oh, I'd love for him to bring in his Arcanine. I wish he would. So Rockium Z, can't believe I just said that, and Life Orb. So alright, Life Orb. Life Orb. Life Orb's not good. But I am going to Z Forest Curse into nothingness, into my own slot. And Milotic, I kind of want to switch this into Tapu Lele, but can Tapu Lele take a Thunderbolt and a Rock Slide? That I am not sure. So I'm going to protect this turn, and then maybe the next turn he might be a bit more inclined to target the TREVENANT, and I can bring in my Tapu Lele. So Thunderbolts into that one. Ooh, Continental Crush. It's going to hurt Oh no. Oh, I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, that's Bloom Doom, isn't it? That's the grass one. What can Gigalith learn? That's a grass move. That's my own blooming Gigalith. My own blooming Trevenant. Oh dear. I'm clearly in a really good state of mind to be recording right now, aren't I? Right, so, whatever. So, that's that. Okay, so we're still in a pretty threatened position, but at least TREVENANT has got all of these lovely stat boosts now. Look at all those boosts. I do want to Horn Leech, but I'm going to Horn Leech into the Tapu Koko. Gigalith can't really do anything to TREVENANT. How important is Xurkitree in this battle? Potentially quite, actually, if he's got Celesteela. Yeah, definitely if he's got Celesteela. So I'm just going to stay in then. I'm just going to Scald. Try and Scald. If he doesn't Thunderbolt, knock out my Milotic. If he does Thunderbolt and knock out my Milotic, then at least I'm getting a heavy chunk of damage with... oh, it's just a Volt Switch, actually. A heavy chunk of damage with... Ooh, okay. Well, I didn't expect that to do quite so much. Onto his Tapu Koko with a Horn Leech, but apparently not. He's Volt Switching out, so I'm losing my Milotic here. He can quite safely bring in his Arcanine now, but he doesn't do. So it is Celesteela, but this does mean that I'm basically getting a free switch into my Xurkitree I'll put out now. And what can he do to stop that? Well, he can't stop me bringing in my Xurkitree, can he? But Gigalith is still somewhat threatened by TREVENANT. Okay, so that's leftovers on Celesteela as well. I could double into the Gigalith. I'm just thinking that it would be nice to get a Tail Glow for his Arcanine. But a Horn Leech isn't going to knock out his Gigalith, so I'm going to double into the Gigalith. If the Gigalith switches, I don't really think it's got many things that want to take a Thunderbolt, you know, a Grass and Electric attack. Yeah, like the Arcanine isn't going to appreciate it, especially because we're in the electric terrain. So I'm just going to double into this Gigalith here. Celesteela might protect, it might switch, you know, fearing something from the Xurkitree, but I think we should be knocking out the Gigalith here. Celesteela does protect there, so he should be losing his, yeah, the Gigalith. Fingers crossed. I mean, is Electric Terrain boosted? Yeah, that's definitely in Horn Leech range now. I've learned that calculation now. There we go. Lovely. And some health back for TREVENANT, which is nice. So, if he has got Arcanine, maybe he will bring it in now. His own Tapu Koko isn't really too threatening, because TREVENANT... like, it doesn't exactly wall it, but it does very good against it and can, you know, leech back off it. And Tapu Lele in the back can get rid of his terrain and outspeed because I'm Scarfed, and potentially, if it's not bulky, which it shouldn't be with his Life Orb, one-shot it with... Ooh, okay. One-shot it with... Psychic. Interesting that he's brought in his Mudsdale here. So I am definitely going to Horn Leech into the Mudsdale. But do I want to predict him switching his Celesteela into his Tapu Koko as he tries to knock out my Xurkitree or not? My Xurkitree is faster. So if I switched my Tapu Lele in here, he would still get his terrain up, wouldn't he? So I am actually just going to protect here. Yeah, so that is exactly what's happening. I am conscious that my Xurkitree is really the only way that I can touch his Celesteela. So I do need to be careful here. Mudsdale can't really do anything to Mudsdale, though. I'm not getting all these names mixed up, aren't I? Mudsdale can't really do anything to TREVENANT here. So I do need to watch out for this. Yeah, he did protect there, so it's not assault vested, that Mudsdale. So things have just got a little bit more difficult, but I think I should be okay, but I don't know, things can always go wrong, can't they? Yeah, Mudsdale is really the only big threat to Xurkitree, so I do want to put all of my efforts onto the Mudsdale. I need to keep the Xurkitree safe, because, you know, I can't touch the Celesteela without it. So in comes Tapu Lele. This is quite predictable. He hasn't seen Tapu Lele yet, but this is quite a predictable switch. So it doesn't Gleam. So, like, he could easily just sort of heavy slam into the Tapu Lele. A high horsepower might even, maybe, with the Sandstorm, knock out... That's close. Knock out the Lele too. Let's see what he's going to go for then. Ooh, what berry is this? That's a 50% berry. Okay. And a high horsepower into Lele, which does knock it out. Okay. Well then. Well then. Sunstorm goes down. I think we've still got our Citrus Berry, haven't we, with Xurkitree? So, I think I'm okay to, because, you know, Trevenant is faster than Mudsdale, I'm okay to just go for a Horn Leech into Mudsdale here, because that covers the Mudsdale, it can't do anything now. Xurkitree, do I Thunderbolt the Tapu Koko, or do I go for a Tail Glow? I think I go for a Tail Glow. Just because I'm pretty sure with a Citrus Berry, my Xurkitree can survive 2 attacks from the Tapu Koko. So Tapu Koko actually protects here. Okay, so I was right to Tail Glow here. So look at these 2 magnificent trees doing some business with each other. It's wonderful, isn't it? And yeah, it's definitely a knockout onto Mudsdale. We will be at full health now, won't we? If we weren't already. Yeah. So his 50% berry didn't really do anything for him there. Not having the assault vest meant that he could protect, so he did have some wiggle room there. But I'm pretty sure we've got, you know, we've got this game now. We just need to Horn Leech into the Tapu Koko and Thunderbolt into the Celesteela, I guess. I mean, what can go wrong? What can go? Can anything go wrong? So if Tapu Koko survives a Horn Leech, I mean, it won't do with his own Life Orb recoil as well, will it? Yeah, I'm just going to do this. I mean, if Celesteela protects, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, and like he survives, you know, maybe 2 Dazzling Gleam critical hits on Xurkitree. But yeah, like I was saying, with the Citrus Berry, I was pretty sure that I would survive 2 hits. There's one, we'll survive another one. And with that Life Orb recoil, I'm pretty sure this +1 Horn Leech will knock out the Koko. And it does. Yeah, wonderful. So, Trevenant, again. Like, I'm always amazed every time Trevenant actually does something. It's fantastic. And, yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm chuffed. And actually, we're over 1,800 now as well. Yes, let's rejoice and put all the bunting up and everything. So we'll just Shadow Claw. We don't really use Shadow Claw much, do we? But it's needed for, I guess, stuff like Mimikyu and everything. And yeah, he forfeits. So yeah, fantastic, good. I mean, quite a long game, but quite a good one, an enjoyable one. Trevenant did something. I mean, I did kind of like see on the team preview how good Trevenant was going to be there. He didn't even bring his Arcanine either, which meant Trevenant was so much better in that matchup as well. Maybe, you know, for all of the stick that I've been giving Milotic, maybe just the presence of Milotic in the team preview meant that he didn't bring his Arcanine, and you know, vicariously, however you want to, you know, describe it, has helped the Trevenant in that matchup. Maybe, I don't know. So we did actually take Milotic. It's just always so amusing how little Milotic actually does. Like, in each battle. Like, it just got knocked out. It didn't get any attacks off in that one, did it? It didn't do anything. Just sat there, got knocked out to the sandstorm. But we are actually over 1,800 now, which is actually a first for me on BattleSpot with... oh, look how high his rating is on BattleSpot. Oh, he's got a Marowak as well. That's nasty. Yeah, I don't really like ladder much on BattleSpot, to be honest. So I don't normally get too high, which is what you'd expect from not laddering too high, from not doing many battles. So this guy had a really high rating. I mean, this guy must be like top 50 or something in the world with that rating. So it would be nice to steal some of his points. But that Marowak really does stick a spanner in the works. It really does. He's got both of the Tapus that stop Spore as well. Annoyingly, he's got like Parting Shot as well on Persian, so he would be able to always Parting Shot out after one of my switches to get his terrain back up to stop the Spore. So, not feeling too confident in this, but like TREVENANT again is threatened by foul play on that Persian too. He's got just the one Intimidate. I'm gonna go with Smeargle Circuitry though again. And I do want Tapu Lele, but do we want Milotic or Arcanine? I'm gonna go with Arcanine. Just like, I'm not sure if he'll bring the Crocodile. He might do, but I don't know. Milotic would have been good against Marowak, obviously, but I'm just really scared of that Tapu Koko. Like, Tapu Koko really does threaten off my water things there, and I can't really have any lightning rods on my own team because I've got Circuitry. So we do see Tapu Koko and Persian here. So bringing in my Lele on his potential fake out is very obvious, and he could also go for either a Volt Switch or a Parting Shot to get his Finny in after my switch. So actually, I'm going to go for a Fake Out, I think, this turn. Into the Tapu Koko and Tail Glow. We'll try and Tail Glow. He might be taunting. No, he's just going for a Fake Out into my Circuitry. Okay. So we're trading Fake Outs here. Koko flinches, Circuitry flinches. So what is the worst thing that can happen here? Like, I don't know. So if I get a Tail Glow up, he's got his Marowak in the back, and I can only really threaten it with like a Psychic and a Dazzling Gleam. I'm not convinced that that would knock it out. So I'm not in a brilliant position, like, to be honest. I'm just thinking, do I follow me or do I wide guard here? I think I'll follow me and Tail Glow, just because I think he will be Volt Switching and not Dazzling Gleaming here, but we'll see. So here's a Parting Shot. So actually this Persian's faster than the Tapu Koko. That Koko is, what, Modest then? Or, like, even slower than Modest. So if this is Marowak coming in, then it's not going to be... Maybe he's discharging. That would be very nice, would it? Maybe he must be Dazzling Gleaming then. Okay, so he's Dazzling Gleaming. So, you know, he gets a Dazzling Gleam off. But that does mean... What does that mean? That does mean that he doesn't get the Parting Shot on my Circuitry. Ooh, we're in a tricky position now. A really tricky position. Just because of that Marowak. It's a shame, this. But if I had my Milotic, it wouldn't make any difference because his Tapu Koko can just knock it out. I mean, it's not Life Orb, so I don't think he would be able to knock it out in one hit, to be honest. and it would be discharge as well. So I'm going to go for a wide guard because it has to be a spread move from the Coco, and I am just going to go for a Dazzling Gleam here, just because I need some damage on the Marowak, just for maybe my Tapu Lele to come in the future and do something. I mean, I'm hoping that he's going to maybe overextend and his Marowak will target my Smeargle this turn, but there's no way that it should do. No reason for it to, unless he was predicting my Xerkatu to protect here and switch into something else. Actually, he substitutes there. Ooh. Well, that's interesting. That is interesting because I think a Dazzling Gleam should knock out his substitute, and and he would be in range of Psychic as well from my Lele. So again, do I follow me? Do I wide guard? I'll have to wide guard and just Dazzling Gleam again. So Marowak protect here. Well, is he just sacrificing his Tapu Koko then? Because he can't Thunderbolt next to his own Marowak. And he's bringing in what? His Persian. So okay. Well, Xerkatu's at +4 now. Just if Xerkatu had Infiltrator, that would be good, wouldn't it? Okay, so it is Persian coming in. Okay, even if he does get a parting shot then, because we just got the Beast Boost, we'll still be able to knock out his Marowak with the thingy. But I think I want to protect, just to be safe this turn. And or do I want to bring in Tapu Lele? I mean, would that be too risky? Maybe that would be too risky. Yeah, I think I'm actually just going to I'm going to go for a follow me here and a protect. Just to make sure that Smeargle does go down this turn. He's lost his Coco. He has still got potentially a Finny in the back though. Just thinking about my own Tapu Lele potentially sweeping and doing something. So we did fake out into the Xerkatu, and he Flare Blitzed. We don't know which one he Flare Blitzed into because they've gone for the follow me. But if he did Flare Blitz into that Smeargle slot, then I couldn't have brought in the Tapu Lele. So I feel like this was the best thing that I could have done here. He does lose a bit more of his health as well. Electricity disappears, which doesn't actually mean anything now. And I've got to bring in my Tapu Lele. But then what do I do? Oh, actually, yeah, because Tapu Lele is going to be going first, isn't it? Oh, what has he potentially got in the back then? Because there's lots of ways that I can do this. I can either Moonblast Persian to knock it out and Dazzling Gleam, but then I'll be losing one of my Pokemon to the Marowak. Or I can try and Psychic the Marowak and Dazzling Gleam with Xerkatu, and I'd still just be losing one of them, wouldn't I? So I'm actually going to go for a Psychic into Marowak and a Dazzling Gleam here. Marowak just protect. Okay, so he's probably going for a parting shot then. So I could have gone for a Moonblast there into the Persian, and probably should have, I guess. But let's see. Something's going to be taking a Dazzling Gleam either way, and it's this Celesteela. Ooh. Okay. Okay. This just got nasty then. I think he now has to switch his Marowak. Even though he's got the substitute, I think he's going to switch his Marowak into Persian as he knocks out my Tapu Lily. If I predict that, then I switch my Tapu Lily out and go for a Dazzling Gleam. But else I just go for a Psychic into the Marowak and try and Dazzling Gleam it. Maybe I think I'm going to do that anyway, but I'm not sure if a Dazzling Gleam, because he didn't parting shot the Xurkitree. I am hoping here that the Psychic at -1 does knock out the substitute, by the way. He hasn't switched it, so if this knocks out the substitute, I did get a Beast Boost, and nice, and the last Dazzling Gleam did do just over 25% as well, so with an extra +1 on that, I think this might knock the Marowak out, and it does, so nice. So now we've got Xurkitree and Lele locked into Psychic against this Celesteela. I should just go for a Heavy Slam, so it is knocking out my Tapu Lele. But I've got my Arcanine in the back, so we might be okay. We might actually be okay. We've got the Psychic Terrain as well, so we can't go for a Fake Out here. So Celesteela's looking really threatened right now. So Persian will be faster and will be able to Foul Play one of my Pokemon. Foul Play will not knock out either of my Pokemon. So I think I'm safe going for an Inferno Overdrive on Celesteela, which will definitely knock it out, and a Thunderbolt onto the Persian, which will definitely knock it out. I don't want to go for a Thunderbolt into the Celesteela and Inferno Overdrive into the Persian, just because I'm not sure, like Persian is very bulky, I'm not 100% it'll knock it out, so I'm going to do it this way. But he can't Fake Out because we're in Psychic Terrain. We're both grounded too, so here's a Foul Play, which, yeah, even a critical hit's not doing anything there. And I think we should have won this game. So this guy, like, you know, had a really high rating. You know, approaching 2,000 actually. It's like 1,970 something, wasn't it? You know, probably is around the top 50 of the world. Yeah, he definitely had a really scary team for mine as well. Yeah, it knocks it out. I suppose I could have been. Yeah, actually, he did have a Knockerberry. Phew. So even then, the Knockerberry did knock it out. Fantastic. And Persian goes down too. Yeah, I mean, it just came down to really that turn where he used Parting Shot on my Tapu Lele instead of my Xurkitree. Because at -1, the Psychic still did knock out the substitute. He needed to really Parting Shot into my Xurkitree so that the +5, was it at that point? +4, +5, it might have been +4. Dazzling Gleam didn't knock his Marowak out from where it was behind the substitute. Because I did get the Beast Boost and, you know, pretty much knew that I would knock it out from there. Again, there was the turn where I thought that he would, you know, his Marowak was behind the substitute. The Marowak was really important for, you know, keeping the Celesteela safe. I thought even though he had the substitute and he probably knew that I was locked, he did know that I was locked into Psychic, he could have withdrew his Marowak into the Persian to, you know, be immune to the Psychic. Would have gone down to a Dazzling Gleam, but then he would have got the knockout onto my Lele with a Heavy Slam, and then I suppose it would have been Arcanine and Xurkitree against Celesteela and Marowak. And Marowak still would be at that range of HP though, in range of a Dazzling Gleam. So unless his Celesteela had Wide Guard, I would have been okay there. Or unless maybe an Inferno Overdrive would have knocked it out, because Celesteela wouldn't have been able to knock out Xurkitree in 2 hits. You know, 2 hits because I the lightning rod and everything. So yeah, I think basically, you know, just to analyze his game to death, I think it just came down to the turn where he used Parting Shot in my Tapu Lele and not the Xurkitree. So there we go. We're almost at half an hour. We're well over 1,800 now. We've actually won every game this week, haven't we? I think we've actually won every game this week. Well, how about that then? So for my efforts, please subscribe to me if you haven't already. Please share my channel. Please get everyone watching this video, and you know, coming on board the tree train. What am I saying? I don't even know. So I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. You know, please like and share, and you know, help my channel out. You know, please, please, please. Hope you enjoyed it. Please, it's I hope it's you know, enriched your lives, made you smile, made you happy. Thank you. Goodbye for now.